All right, Trey Lance, 49ers quarterback. 49ers lost to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl a few years ago, trying to get over that hump. Trey Lance was the guy that they went all in to get a couple of years ago. He's been working out with Patrick Mahomes, which I think anything you can do with Patrick Mahomes is positive. Be around him, learn from him, glean anything you can. We still don't know what Trey Lance can do. He finally had his moment last year, and he suffered a broken ankle in week 2 of the regular season. So we don't know if he can play. We don't know if he can stay healthy. It's been a bad situation for him. I feel bad for him because there's enough pressure if you're the 3rd overall pick. You throw on top of it everything the 49ers did to go get you. And now he's fallen behind Brock Purdy. I mean, Brock Purdy would be the clear-cut number 1 quarterback of the 49ers right now if he hadn't suffered the elbow injury. The only thing that's giving Lance a chance. And I saw one of the sports books has Lance as the slim favorite to take the first snap week 1 as quarterback of the 49ers over Sam Darnold, over Brock Purdy. I still think, though, the way the depth chart shakes out, if everyone's healthy right now, is Purdy, Darnold, Lance. And Lance is the one who's got to prove himself. And if he doesn't get a chance to play, how does he prove himself?
Oh, I don't know if I would put Sam Darnold ahead of Trey Lance. God, at least I hope not, for Trey Lance's sake. Good Lord. I mean, sorry, Sam Darnold. I mean, that's not something that I would want to slip behind the depth chart to a Sam Darnold. I mean, the problem is you just don't know if Brock Purdy's going to be healthy or not. And that was one of the things that Kyle Shanahan was talking about last week when I was sitting with him at that coach's availability on Tuesday for the NFC. It was basically that we know what Brock Purdy can do because Brock Purdy's done it on the field. So it's going to be much harder for Trey Lance to then come in and take that role and keep it if it just so happens that Brock Purdy is not healthy for the start of the season, because we haven't seen Trey Lance do it on the field. And I mean, like you said, I also kind of feel badly for Trey Lance because we have no idea what Trey Lance was going to turn into last year if he'd been able to play, if he had been able to stay healthy. It just so happened that, I mean, in week 2, he gets hurt and then he's done for the year. So we could have been talking about Trey Lance as one of those guys that is really up and coming and is really ascending, but we just don't know what he's capable of. And the other part of the problem, Mike, is that this is a guy that just has not played much football at all since 2019, because he basically didn't have a season in 2020. They played 1 game because of the pandemic, right? And then you go into 2021 and yeah, you're a 1st round pick, but he didn't play much then either. And then he gets hurt in 2022. So the lack of playing experience and just being on the field for that long, that's going to affect you in some way. What way? I don't know. But there's a lot that Trey Lance is going to have to do in the offseason program where he's going to get a lot of the reps, but apparently he's going to kind of split him with Sam Darnold. And then depending on when Brock Purdy is healthy, he'll also have some time in training camp, presumably. I don't know where his career is going to go from here.
And it's so much pressure. And look, the other side of the coin is, hey, if you can't handle this pressure, you're never going to handle the pressure of a big playoff game or a big spot in prime time or a Super Bowl. If you can't handle the pressure of competing internally. But the problem is you don't get real opportunities to improve as a quarterback. If you're not on the field, you can't get on the field because you just, for whatever reason, it hasn't worked out. And there's been a lot of chatter in recent days about something that Sims was all over at the time it happened, that Mac Jones was the guy that Kyle Shanahan wanted when they traded up to number 3, but someone in the organization talked him into Trey Lance. And now we've got the Mac Jones questions. We've got the Lance questions. I joked at one point this week with Tom Curran of NBC Sports Boston, why not just trade Mac Jones for Trey Lance straight up? Who would say no to that deal?
No?
Maybe Bill Belichick would welcome it, and maybe Kyle Shanahan would welcome bringing Mac Jones. But it's running that offense. That's why he loves Brock Purdy. One of the reasons he runs that offense. You don't have to be Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes to run that offense. They just haven't been able to get anybody who can stay consistently healthy. That's been the cruel irony. It's like they're cursed. Sims and I joke about that all the time. The 49ers are cursed at the quarterback position, and it feels like it's going to continue. All right, let's take a break. When we return, the Jets have acquired the rights to a former Packers quarterback, finally. But not the one that we've been waiting for. We'll discuss that next here on PFT. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.